Welcome back once again, Red Blue Gamers. Here we are looking at, again, some more of these vespids, which are done, as you can see. Had grass tufts added onto them. So there's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so they can go out of the way for the time being. Just over there, this way we can start working on the next lot of stuff, and we've got one more left. Glued together, had the base done, just got to paint the rim. And as you said, we've done a little bit on here, so we're going to get into the black. We will do the engine stuff shortly, but let's get in with our Black Templar contrast paints. We don't need the Eldari Emerald anymore. I will eventually need Bile, dry brushing. Don't need any more, so out of the way. That I do. Pan green I don't need. Obviously that can go away too. Skull and Horde can go. No one can stay. You can go. That can go up there. There's a grey. A Celeste grey. We've got a Batten black can stay. No, I'll stay. Fulgrim pink is going. Nighthawk we don't need anymore. And then Rattling Grime we don't need either. So most of the stuff out of the way. We will go to our Black Templar and we shall give it a shake. And let's start with the painting. Let's get a nice big thick brush. Some water on it, and let's start with the feet. Just here. And this is the easiest. Big thick brush, just makes it a little bit easier to get the black from. And for those that were questioning the brush, well, we weren't questioning, we're just asking questions or advising. Here is a thicker, bigger brush, a little bit easier to get contrast paint on and around. So I do have them, there you go. Let's just get all this on as quickly and as hopefully as seamlessly as possible. Rotate around there, and carefully around here, so that we're matching up with the front of the knee joint, and onto the other foot where we're again getting this black lathered on. And hopefully tonight, after all these videos are done and dusted, we will have 3 more crisis suits completed, which will be another 150 points, which is a little bit in terms of throwing it on the away. A little bit in terms of, you know, catching up to that 2,000 point marker and getting us quite close. I think this is the last lot of crisis suits that need to be done. As I said, there's a guy just there. So fly through all this, and with the heater on in the house at the moment, because here in Australia it is kind of cold and very wet. We've had about 48 hours of, at this point in time, of rain, but it isn't a great deal, I will say that much. It hasn't quite, probably hasn't done as much as it needs to, but it's been a consistent amount of rain over 48 hours, so it's also in Australia the way farmers like it. Consistent amount of rain just makes it a little easier for farmers to get done what they need done, while also allowing for dams, tanks to fill up. So, you know, maybe we've had 40 mil, 50 mil maybe in 48 hours. Whereas sometimes in Australia we get 40, 50 mil in an hour. And that's when shit goes south, and we have a lot of floods, a lot of dangerous weather, people losing their homes and whatnot. So for it to come over a few days is a lot safer for all of us, which is great. Also, farmers much more prefer that it comes in, that block of, hey, here's so much rain for so many days. It just does less damage to their crops, and yeah, it's just a lot easier for us to, as a country, to deal with. So, 2 lots of legs done, nice and simple and easy. Let's get into these guns, which we are going to need more paint on the brush, I'm going to say, because maybe let's just make sure we've got all the little nooks and crannies. Spin it around. One arm done. Here's the second arm, but we're going to go back to the pot and get some more black on the brush. And then push it around. But yeah, just checking in on how everyone else is going. Always welcome for the community to comments, posts, talk about their hobby and how it is. Let me know. We want to know what's going on. Don't forget we've got both Facebook and Instagram out there as well. So if you want to keep up with some of the other stuff that I do post that doesn't end up on videos on YouTube, so I will be posting some photos shortly. But probably won't be a video. I may turn it into a short, I don't know, but I'm about to display the point markers where I was at each step of the way, going down this journey. Just a bit of a road map to show where we're up to. I haven't forgotten, I do also need to paint the helmets on these guys black. But I'm just working around on the guns for the time being. I'll get to the helmets in a second. If I get these guns completed and painted, there's just one less thing for me to worry about. Getting a coat of paint on them just takes the pressure off. Means that we've got time up our sleeves to get the second coat done. Also, given the fact that, as I said, the heater is on, the coat will not take a great deal of time tonight. So tomorrow morning, well, even maybe tonight, I should be able to actually go ahead and, to be honest, glue everything back together, which would then mean that I could get on with the bases in terms of putting a colour down that's required. Which would be a massive amount of help. I'm just going to put some more. I fed it on the screen, more colour on that brush as it wasn't taking to the colour very well. Across the back there. Lovely. One helmet down, and here we go, second helmet. Spin that around slightly to try and get to the Sorry, once again, I've gone slightly quiet. Just, yeah, concentrating face, getting stuff done so that I don't have to make too many touch-ups in turn of when I go to do the second coat, because I will have gotten all of the black in the places it needs to be, which I think I have done. But yeah, there's still two more. Just there is another. Wherever he got to, I don't think he's been done. And who? Randy somewhere. There should be a third and final stealth suit, possibly crisis suit. I mean, possibly put away at the moment. But let's just get some water off this brush, and let's look at this last vespid. We're going to close the back Black Templar up for a moment, just to give it a breather. We're going to go in, and we're going to get some Black Templar on this brush. And we're definitely going to paint the rim of this, because it is that time, and this will get, obviously this usually takes me 2 coats. It doesn't like to stay even run around. It doesn't quite do what I want it to, which is fair enough. And I am very haphazard with this. I try my best to stay on the lines with one down, and we'll be able to do the second one shortly. As you can see, we have the at least two crisis suit bases, which I kind of thingoed over where their feet go to make it a little bit easier, mainly for when they get glued back down again. So we'll get that off our brush again, and what we'll do, which is what I was going to do, give everything a slight breather. Get this Pro Acryl bold white titanium. It's a good colour. I'm just going to get a little double of it there on the pad, on the palette there. POQ it off, and I'm going to grab my, oh there it is, airbrush thinner. Stuff works a treat. It's not what it's meant for, but a few drops of that. Biggest brush, and we'll just mix the absolute shit out of it, because the point of it is for it to be, and I get the water in there, get it out of the water out of the brush. I'm going to go in with the smaller brush, this one, and just a dab in there, and the whole point is to get it in, just in the recess there. So when it dries, because it's a bit liquidy, the point is I want it to dry and form in the recesses, allowing for sometimes you get a little bit too much, in there. Let me just get in a few different holes. 1, 2. Suck some more out of there. Out of there. And we've got one more body to. Well, he didn't get lucky enough to have his singer done, so let's make sure we definitely get some more out of this one. Good. That's enough. And we can a little bit more on the thingo. Oh, hello. There we go, another one down. I'm going to have to do the blue and get that active in there in a second. I might do that now. I'll have to go and grab that back out again. Foster, over you. Still got the goggles on, the little do that, and we'll get in there and again. I'll use a bigger brush. There we go. Now we've got enough on there. Oh, we'll get in there. Just make sure I get all the corners. Okay, boom. Continue on. I do need to actually get this while I'm thinking about it, because I do have a lieutenant type character inside this crisis team, which is the one I'm actually doing right now, because he's got the special different head, is the way I like to identify him. I do need to, while I'm thinking about it, paint his shoulder pauldron with this to give it the difference in terms of rank and colour, just to help break it up a little bit. Just also provides others, with the ability to identify the leaders and the unit, and it does look cool in the unit when your sergeant is marked. And do the same thing with my Dark Angels. My sergeant usually has in a few squads, my sergeant has a yellow stripe on his helmet. In my Hellblasters, definitely, but they also, all my Hellblasters have one pauldron, not pauldron, kind of like a knee plate spot painted yellow to identify that they are indeed Hellblasters. There's that guy. Let's just get onto this guy, and then we can, once these are dry, we can probably actually get in there with that liquid again and think of it. Just seeing as we've got the two commanders here, I will actually go ahead and paint two of the pauldron arms. A particular colour, well, particular colour being this colour. It's just a slight trim on the shoulder panel, which I'll point out shortly where it gets done. But yeah, we have one more of these guys that literally needs to be primed, which will lead to another commander being required, which I have currently not being built, but possibly, given the time period and how soon Bendigo Open is, and I really want to leave myself a few weeks, a few weekends where I can actually attempt to play a few games, so that I get a little bit of practice in, or some more practice in with this list. I may also be able to have to go and play a couple of games after work throughout the next so long. But talking about arm pauldrons, they're over here, 1 and 2. Vespid down again. The other way, 1 and 2. And so what the goal is I need to, oh fuck it actually, I don't need to worry about it. Oh, no fucking thing like that, so we'll just do this one. Because I've already done the other stuff to it. Alright, so here we go. The point of it is to, where I've got panel lining done in that groove in the panel, I just use that as a buffer so that I can paint the pauldron that will go with the commander. And so now we swing around, and we know that's where the line is. I'm just going to run across the bottom there, across here. Done. And so there's the pauldron for the commander, which obviously I only do the one for this unit because the next unit actually requires another model to be primed, but for the time being we have done what we needed to do. This is dry, which is good, which means we can get back in there with the Black Templar without taking everything out. And where did that go? There it is. Again, let's just get this on there, second layer, pretty quick, because the first layer is pretty much dry, well it is dry. I'm not actually doing any damage. Fucking taking it off with my finger again accidentally. I was just holding it too high. So we just clean this up as we go around. Just make sure that there's no marks where my finger is taking the paint off. No. Lovely, and that will be another. That will be the last of that 5-man squad completed. All I have to do is add grass tufts to his behind. So we'll do that while I'm here and thinking about it. The front is going to be the easiest, and we go with a little one, something like that. Lovely. Set it down. Get the super glue out, because super glue is what tends to work best. And we just attempt to stick it down like so. There we go. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Fixed. Bit of super glue still. Oh, I've got one or two of these, so you can go back over there. Fuck it. Back on your paper, thank you. Stop it. And we'll just leftover glue. And we'll take this guy, old China, and give him another flower, because why not? Anyway. There is that one. That is done. And we'll take time right now for a breather. But as you can see, motoring on again and getting stuff done. These crisis suits hopefully are only, you know, a matter of hours from being completed. Another run of black on all 6 of those sections. 6 bits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another coat of the blue on that. Obviously that arm can go on. And then, yeah, got to be dry brushed silver, which is there. And then we'll be able to go in and paint, glue them together, glue them to their bases, and that'll be that. So let's just make sure this is, actually while I'm here, that's dried by the looks of it. So we'll get this in there again. We still have a little bit of, there we go. Get it in there, there we go. Get a highlight colour of some sort. I do have a couple of highlight colours floating about, which I can use to highlight, which I will do. I don't think I need to worry about the inside of that too much in terms of adjusting the amount in there of colour. So I'll let that dry. And yeah, there we are. That is that. So yeah, see you in the next one. Don't forget, if you do enjoy what I do, like and subscribe. And thanks very much. Bye for now.